Hey guys, this is Gideon Kane from Bag Games, and this is a Guild Wars 2 combat tutorial for the Thief class. This is my Thief, Sterling Silver, and she's spec'd for condition damage. The strength of the Thief is the fact that she can get in there, do a couple attacks, and then get out quickly. It's her mobility that is her strength. She doesn't have a lot of toughness or vitality, so a couple hits will take her down pretty easily. The way I have her spec'd is for power, critical hits, and for condition damage. You could probably move some points around in any of these three columns and not end up with a significantly different build, but I pushed trickery or condition damage trait line to the max so that she would do the most damage with her DOT or damage over time abilities. So the traits I want to point out would be the exposed weakness in the third tier of the power line, and that's deal 10% more damage if your target has a condition. So since anytime you attack an enemy, they're going to have a condition on them, this is a huge buff to your damage output. I also want to show you that the opportunist trait in the second tier of the critical strikes trait line, critical hits have a 20% chance to restore 1 initiative. So because I crit so very often, I have a high chance of returning my initiative. Initiative, in case you didn't know, is this line of diamonds down below here. This is what determines your ability to perform moves. All moves on the left hand side of the health bar actually reduce initiative, so you're going to want to use abilities that restore your initiative as quickly as possible. The final trait line, the trickery trait line, is stealing gives you 3 initiative. That's this ability right here. It allows you to warp to the target and regain 3 initiative. And then preparedness, which increases your maximum initiative by 3. So if you take a look at a couple of the Thief moves, after this I'm going to show you in a combat situation, but I just wanted to explain each of the moves and their utility. First, you have the basic 1 attack. If you look to the third tier from the bottom, it applies poison on each third strike, so if you just spam your auto attack, you're going to constantly be poisoning them. Second would be the Heartseeker. This move is an excellent finisher. As you see from the description, the lower their HP, the more damage this ability does. It also has a pretty long range leaping attack, so it allows you to catch up with enemies that are trying to run away or that are out of melee range. The third is the Thief class Bread and Butter. This is the Death Blossom. Not only is it a really neat looking move, but it also applies 3 stacks of bleeding every single time you use it. So that's what I use most often. The other 2 moves I don't use as much. The Dancing Dagger, when you throw it, it will bounce between up to 4 targets, which can be useful for throwing at groups of enemies a distance away. And then the last move is the Cloak and Dagger. It allows you to stab somebody and become invisible, which opens up your ability to, as you see on the top there, backstab, which means it does a lot more damage when you attack an enemy from the side or from the back. So I'm going to now head into the wilderness and show you what the... So my main strategy when dealing with enemies is I want to get in there quickly and spam Death Blossom until I run out of initiative. And then I use Steal to restore some initiative, and because I also restore initiative 7% of the time on my 1 attack, my auto attack, and I believe 20% of the time when I crit I also have a chance of restoring some of my initiatives. So I want to apply as many stacks of bleeding on an enemy as I can, and then recharge my initiative as quickly as possible to apply even more stacks. Along the way I have my heal skill that will turn me invisible, and I have a secondary heal skill here. It's a little harder to use, but I can use it to basically hide in plain sight. Also, these Kel traps, when I drop them, they also have a chance to throw bleeding, and my dodge ability also has me dropping Kel traps. So let's see how many stacks I can get on this veteran O cart, 25 being the max possible. Now that its health is low, I'll just spam the 2 because it does more damage when their health is below 50 and 25%. You may have noticed me evading a lot of moves. That's because the Death Blossom also functions as a dodge move, which is extremely useful. Though it may not be... Oh, see, now this is the excellent part about the Thief, is even though I'm downed, I'm still going to win, because he's got so many dots on him, it'll just drain away his health. And if you kill somebody while you're downed, you automatically get back up. Kind of same sort of thing as like Borderlands 2. We have all these shamans worshipping around a cauldron. Looks like they're up to no good, whatever they're doing. But since they're all clustered together, this is a perfect time to use my Death Blossom ability. Oops, sorry about the camera work there. You see they're all draining their health away, and they're trying to hit me, but I'm just quicker than them.
Barely.
Now, even though I'm down, I'm gonna definitely win. You'll notice that when I'm downed, my attacks actually reach over to multiple enemies. I believe 3 is the maximum amount of enemies. Basically, the strength of the Thief is my ability to apply all these DOTs, these damage over time abilities, and then stay out of range while I let that do the work for me. Unlike other classes in the game, I don't have cooldowns on my abilities. I just have to keep enough initiative, and I get initiative back either by using moves or by critting, or even sometimes with my normal attack. I highly recommend that you get the 50% damage when you're downed trait, because you're gonna be down a lot, but you want to be able to pick yourself up. So even though it's not a glamorous upgrade, it's pretty much essential for your survival, or you're going to be spending a lot of money in repair bills. This has been a Guild Wars 2 combat tutorial with the Thief using dual daggers. The Thief is definitely a character that will appeal to people that like a high risk, high reward style of gameplay. While the Thief doesn't have a lot of survivability, the amount of damage that they can throw out, burst damage, is simply incredible if you spec your character right and know how to use the moves in combination with each other. 14, 19, 20...